it's Ellie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I decided today I'm going to do a little get ready with me to go to work. I am not a makeup professional by any means. I also thought it'd be kind of fun to do like a little story time with my get ready with me. If you're new here, I'm Ellie. This is my journey on being a 32-year-old YouTuber. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, but there's another video for that. I kind of talked about it in my introduction video. I'll link that in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. That's and everything that I use. I'm not going to bother linking. If you have questions, leave it in the comment section below and I can tell you what I use. I use the same thing basically every single day. I love makeup. It's something that I got into a long time ago. I just needed something faster these days because, like I said before, I have 3 kids and so I'm very busy. And when I get up in the morning, I need something that's going to go really fast, because if I take too much time, I have a baby, I have a toddler, and I have a 12-year-old son who has to get off to school. So things can get interesting very quickly if I am not fast. Anyway, today's story time video is going to be about the time I locked myself out of a property. So this was back in 2016, I believe it was. I want to say it was about 2016. And I was fairly new to real estate. I've been doing it for a couple of years. I've been a realtor since 2014. So I was a realtor for like 2 years at that point. And I had to go get keys because we just closed on a property. And so I called the listing agent and asked the listing agent, like, hey, where are the keys? And he said, oh, they're at the house. I said, okay, great. And he goes, but there's only, I said, is there multiple sets? He said, no, there's just the one set. I was like, okay, cool. So I went to the house and I walked inside, because I always do a walkthrough before I give the keys to my buyer. So I usually go like the day of closing or the day that they go sign. I usually go before my buyers even have a chance to get done or think about going to the house, because I want to make sure that it's, ready for them. And if I have a gift, I usually leave it at the house at that point when I'm there just doing a walkthrough. Anyway, so I go to the house, I grab the keys, I go inside, and this house is not super big. It's like, I don't know, I think it was about 1,600 square feet, maybe 17. And the way it was set up was there's, like, you walk in the front door and the master's on one side, and then like the kitchen island area is on the other, like in the middle, and then you have all the other bedrooms off to the other side. And I walked in, and for some reason, I set the keys on the island, and I went and checked the other rooms, and then it had a shop outside. And so I went through the laundry room out to the shop, and I wanted to make sure that everything was cleared out. So I went out to the shop, walked around, and then I went back to the little man door that I came out of, and it was locked. Now, normally it wouldn't be a big deal, except for I also live in Central Oregon, where we get a lot of snow in the wintertime sometimes. And at that point, it was winter, and we had probably just gotten about 18 inches of new powder. So I was trying to figure out, how I'm gonna walk around, because there was the person moved out like a while ago, so there was no pathway shoveled, nothing was shoveled. So I had to figure out, okay, I'm just gonna have to walk around the house and be soaking wet. So I trudged from the back of the house, because that's where the shop was, all the way around to the front to the driveway. And then I was able to walk from the driveway up to the house, which is the way I came. And then I realized the front door was locked as well. I have no idea how that happened. I'm still to this day clueless how that happened, because it just doesn't make any sense. I just walked in the house. I didn't lock the door behind me, I'm convinced. So I start to kind of panic because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, how am I going to get in this house? So then my next thing was starting to walk around the house, checking all the windows. And when I was checking the windows, I found one that was open, like this big. Okay, I'm not going to fit through a window that's that big. I don't have my kids with me. How am I getting in this house? And of course it was in the bathroom. So I started checking all the other windows. And finally I get back to I made my way all the way back. By this point I've been there for like, I don't know, maybe an hour. And I didn't know what to do. So I went all the way back to where the shop was. There's like a little, I don't know what you would call it, like a little pathway thing from the shop to the house. And I sat there and I called my business partner and I said, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And at the time she wasn't in town. She wasn't here. And she said, just check for any open entries. And I said, no. So after I hung up with her and she said, you're gonna have to call a locksmith. Like, great. And again, this is wintertime in Central Oregon, where it's really hard to find anybody to do anything anyway. And then you add winter into top of it, and it's just like, it's a mess. It's a mess. So I ended up noticing that there was a doggy door. And I decided, well, I might as well give that a try. And pray to God that I don't get stuck, because how embarrassing would that be? How embarrassing would that be? If I would have got stuck, I would have had to call the fire department and a locksmith. So anyway, I finally was able to shimmy through the doggy door and was able to retrieve the keys. Now, these are the things that people don't talk about, let me tell you, because when I first started real estate, nobody ever talked about stuff like this. Like, this is not, I also started real estate when I was really young, and I was amongst a lot of older people when I started real estate. I don't know why in Central Oregon it's like that. Now it's not, but it was very, not controversial, but it was very unheard of to be younger and doing real estate. It's something that just didn't really happen that often. And if it did happen, you really have to go through the gigs to earn your badges with these older realtors. They are not nice. Most of them, there's only, I shouldn't say all of them, I shouldn't categorize people. I would say at least 80% of the old people do not want anything to do with you. They're mad that you became a realtor, and I still haven't figured out why. Especially because, like, hello, you're getting older. What do you expect? You're not going to live forever, and you're going to want to retire. Like, there's going to come a time where you're not going to want to do this anymore. And some people just don't like to hear that, I guess. Anyway, but that was my story. How I locked myself out of a property. It was super fun. Had to climb through a doggy door. It was very interesting. Also, a 10 out of 10, don't recommend doing that because I totally scraped my back. I remember that. And it was horrible. And then I had to explain to my clients, hey, by the way, this is the only set of keys. Make sure you don't lose them or you're going to have to go through the doggy door like me. I mean, I didn't tell them that, but I don't even think I told anybody that I went through the doggy door, which is hilarious. I mean, I told my business partner. She was cracking up. She's like, oh, I didn't realize there was a doggy door. I'm like, neither did I. Until I did. And then I was like, hey, look. I'm gonna give that a try before I spend like $1 million on getting somebody out here to unlock this freaking house. That's like one downfall of living in a more rural area is, like I said before, like getting contractors out to do anything is horrible. It's like pulling teeth. And then finding good contractors is even harder. And everything is so dang expensive. And I don't understand why people think they can charge $8 billion to do something that I could literally do myself. I just choose not to. It doesn't make sense. I've literally replaced like doorknobs before. I've put new locks on for people before because I'm not willing to pay somebody $8 billion to come out and do it. When I'm in a big hurry, I always just line my lips. I don't even bother with all the lipstick. And today I am because I have appointments I have to go to. So this is kind of my go-to look for work. It's something that's simple and easy and gets me out the door really quickly. My curls fell because my house is like 8,000 degrees. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this fun little get ready with me story time. I will plan on posting a couple times a week. I don't know the exact dates I'm going to be posting, but I hope you come back and join me for the next one. I will see you guys later.